Beatrice, you left this. No respect man would ever marry someone like you.
Well, and you think you're so much better because you have my sloppy seconds? Keep it. Think of it as parting gift.
You bitch! You made my nose bleed!
Come on, baby. Don't run from me. I'll show you a good time.
Don't touch me! No!
Get your hands off my girl!
Look closely, Desmond once bled to protect his wife. Yet in the blink of an eye, under his mother's arrangement, he is preparing to marry another woman of equal status. The story begins on a stormy night. A woman stands in the pouring rain, holding a box of pizza, waiting for a husband who never returns. Her name is Beatrice. Again and again, she calls her husband Desmond, but all she hears is a cold, automated voicemail. 15 minutes stretch endlessly in the freezing rain. Deep down, she already knows the answer. His sudden late nights, emergency business trips, and the unfamiliar perfume on his shirts, each detail pierces her heart like poison. Even worse, Desmond's own mother had warned her more than once. Her son would never be loyal in love. Blinded by love, Beatrice had refused to believe it. The rain blurred her vision and awakens a memory. On a night just like this, she had once been surrounded by thugs. Desmond appeared like a savior, fighting them barehanded, leading without hesitation. Back then, he held her tightly and promised to protect her forever. That forever was once the warmest light of her life. But promises don't survive reality. Staring at her silent call log, Beatrice finally understands. The word forever was nothing but a lie. The man who once risked his life for her now won't even answer the phone. On another rain-soaked night, love dies quietly. With her heart numb, Beatrice stops crying and stops waiting. She wipes the rain from her face and calls the one person she never wanted to face, her wealthy mother-in-law. Soaked and exhausted, Beatrice enters the brightly lit luxury villa. The elegant mother-in-law is calmly sipping coffee, selecting jewelry. She mocks Beatrice with open contempt, calling her a pathetic drowned doll. Casually, she reveals that the priceless necklace in her hand is a wedding gift for Desmond S. Newell, Miss Fairfax, a woman of noble birth. The truth is finally exposed. From the start, she forced Desmond to hide his marriage, ashamed of Beatrice's humble background. Now the path is clear. As long as Beatrice disappears, Desmond can marry into power and secure a perfect alliance. Then comes the ultimatum. Divorce immediately. Keep the marriage secret forever. Disappear completely from Desmond's life. Beatrice listens calmly and nods. Just as the mother-in-law smiles in victory, Beatrice looks up and names her price. 50 million. She wants to buy back her dignity and bury a love that has already died. Faced with this shocking demand, how will the ruthless mother-in-law respond? Look closely, this woman had been secretly married for 10 years. Yet she has lived like a mistress who can never step into the light. Today, she will trade a divorce agreement for a staggering 50 million in compensation. All of this is because her husband, the elite tycoon Desmond, is about to marry the heiress of another top financial dynasty, and she, the invisible wife, had become the greatest obstacle in the way. For 10 years of marriage, she gave Desmond everything, yet her identity was never publicly acknowledged. At the company, she was merely a subordinate, forced to report to him with respect and restraint. At home, she was more like a housekeeper, cautiously asking whether her own husband would be coming home for dinner. What shattered her heart even more was this. Desmond's mistress could openly leave her personal belongings in the house, while she, the lawful wife, had to be hidden away like a shameful secret. 10 years of endurance and humiliation finally erupt at this moment. The woman walks into the CEO's office holding a stack of documents, a divorce agreement tucked among them, waiting for his signature. Facing this man as cold as an iceberg, she suppresses her tears and reports work matters as she always has. When she asks whether he will come home for dinner that night, Desmond refuses without surprise. He does not even bother to look at her. At last, she can no longer endure the suffocating humiliation. She points to the lipstick on the desk, a trace left by another woman, and questions him. She is clearly his wife, so why must she live like a disgraceful secret? She slides the divorce agreement across the desk and tells him that once he signs it, he will never again have to feel embarrassed by her existence. Without a flicker of emotion, Desmond picks up the pen and signs his name without the slightest hesitation. A 10-year marriage ends just like that, in a manner almost humiliating. The woman takes the signed agreement and turns away, meeting the mysterious person who had been waiting for news. Calmly, she says that Desmond has signed. The deal is done. The 50 million will soon be transferred. But no one notices that at the moment she turns away, there is no joy in her eyes, only a flash of icy coldness. They think money is enough to dismiss a wife who lived in the shadows. What they do not realize is the kind of existence they have just abandoned. The real show has only just begun. Just as the man presents the limited edition diamond he personally selected, the woman does not even spare it a glance. Instead, she tells him to give the gift to another woman and calmly asks for a divorce. At this moment, the wealthy husband, Desmond, is left utterly stunned. What he know is that his wife has long accepted the truth. He no longer loves her. She is already preparing to take that ticket to freedom and walk away for good. Holding the diamond he carefully chose, the man stresses that it is a one-of-a-kind treasure, hoping to use it to please his wife. But the woman responds with cold indifference, telling him to give it to Madeline Fairfax, her words dripping with irony. Desmond hurriedly explains himself. He admits that he is working with Madeline on the Senstar project, but insists their relationship is strictly professional, nothing more. Yet to the woman, his explanation sounds hollow. Her heart is already exhausted. She lays everything bare if her husband has fallen in love with someone else. She is willing to let go and grant him his freedom. They can divorce immediately. But unexpectedly, Desmond rejects the idea without a second thought. Here is a man entangled with another woman, yet refusing to release his wife. So what exactly is he really after? Look closely 1 second. This woman is being warned by her billionaire husband that she is never allowed to mention divorce again. The next, she is already selling off jewelry worth tens of millions, preparing to vanish from the world. This sudden turn of events is possible for one reason only. The seemingly obedient, passive woman has just completed a shocking deception. Only minutes earlier, her domineering husband Desmond had confidently declared that they would never divorce. What he didn't know was that the document he casually signed, thinking it was an ordinary business file, was in fact a legally binding divorce agreement. At that moment, Desmond receives an urgent phone call and leaves in a hurry. Before walking out, he coldly warns her to behave herself and get some rest. He believes he controls everything. What he doesn't realize is that he has already fallen into a trap carefully laid by his wife. The moment her husband is gone, the woman calls her best friend. She packs up every piece of luxury jewelry Desmond ever gave her, including a diamond ring worth over $1 million, and, without the slightest hesitation, tells her friend to sell everything and donate the money to charity. Her friend is shocked by her decisiveness and anxiously asks whether Desmond has truly agreed to the divorce. Only then does the woman reveal the truth with a faint smile. She tricked Desmond into signing the divorce papers. Her friend's face turns pale instantly, warning her to be careful once Desmond discovers the truth. His retaliation could be terrifying. But the woman remains calm. She has already prepared her escape. Not only did she secure a large sum of money from her mother-in-law, she plans to disappear completely wealthy enough to hire a top-tier security team to protect herself. She has had enough of this suffocating marriage. No matter what Desmond thinks, she is leaving. As she speaks, she lifts a box of packed clothes, ready to move into her new apartment. Before leaving, she even removes the wedding ring from her finger and tells her friend to sell it as well. To her, it no longer holds any meaning. What the woman doesn't realize is that every move she makes has already been seen. Inside a car not far away, Desmond watches the footage sent by his men, his gaze icy and unmoving. The moment he sees her climb into the car with the box in her arms, a flash of cold fury crosses his eyes. He immediately orders his men to follow her closely. She must not escape his sight. A carefully planned escape turns, in an instant, into a deadly game of cat and mouse. With her husband now aware of everything, can her escape still succeed? And what price will Desmond make this audacious woman pay? Look closely. This trillion-dollar corporate tycoon believes there is nothing in the world that money cannot fix. Yet today, he is taught a harsh lesson by an ordinary girl. And it all begins with a rear-end collision in the middle of a torrential downpour. The CEO's top assistant pulls out a thick stack of cash, trying to settle the matter privately. After all, every hour of the boss's time is worth a fortune. He has no intention of waiting here for the traffic police. But the girl's reaction completely stuns him. She refuses the compensation outright and insists on handling everything by the book, waiting for the authorities to arrive. To the assistant, this indifference to money is utterly incomprehensible. Left with no choice, he returns to the car to report to the temperamental CEO in the back seat. As expected, the moment he hears the news, the CEO erupts in anger. He throws open the car door and steps into the pouring rain, demanding to know how such a trivial matter could possibly go wrong. In his world, any problem could be solved by offering more money. How could this be so difficult? But when he learns that the girl has firmly refused any payment, a flicker of surprise appears on his face for the first time. Instinctively, he looks in her direction. There she stands alone in the rain, stubborn and unmoving. Her thin clothes soaked through, a trace of blood visible on her forehead. At that moment, the rage in the CEO's eyes softens into something far more complicated. He falls silent for a brief second, then makes a decision that leaves everyone stunned. He takes off his impeccably tailored, outrageously expensive suit and tosses it to his assistant, signaling him to give it to the girl. The assistant quickly walks over, hands her the suit, and reminds her that she has a head injury and shouldn't stay in the rain. The girl looks at the jacket, still warm with the man's body heat. After a brief hesitation, she accepts it and solemnly promises to have it cleaned and returned. As the luxury car slowly drives away, the girl grips the suit tightly in her hands, her gaze following the vehicle until it disappears into the curtain of rain. Desmond, arrogant and domineering one moment, unexpectedly gentle the next. Who exactly is he? Was this sudden act of kindness merely a passing impulse, or the beginning of something far more calculated? Look closely. The greatest danger facing Beatrice after the car accident isn't her injuries, but the seemingly caring husband standing in front of her. She had been secretly planning her escape from this hypocritical scumbag, and the accident almost ruined everything. Beatrice wakes up in the hospital. By her bedside isn't her husband but her boss, Desmond. She had crashed while trying to flee. Luckily, Desmond found her in time, rushed her to the hospital and saved her life. Afterward, he even drove her home and offered to make soup. This act of kindness becomes the fuse that ignites a domestic war. Wrapped in Desmond's coat, Beatrice's controlling husband suddenly returns home. His eyes fall on the unfamiliar jacket draped over her shoulders. There is no concern for her injuries, only burning jealousy and suspicion. Faced with his questioning, Beatrice lies. Desmond is merely her boss. The man doesn't believe her, and a silent interrogation begins. He probes subtly, asking why he couldn't reach her all day. Beatrice's heart races. Of course, she cannot reveal that she blocked his number. Calmly, she claims her phone ran out of battery. His next words send icy fear through her. He remarks that all her clothes and jewelry are missing from the closet. Everything she had packed for her disappearance was gone. Hastily, she says she sent them out for cleaning. His face clearly says he doesn't believe a word. Beatrice knows she must regain control, so she drops a bombshell. She is quitting her job. Feigning casualness, she adds that she wants to take a break and travel. Surprisingly, he smiles in satisfaction. Not only does he not object, he fully supports it. Ironically, he assumes that once she quits, she should stay home, implying it's time for her to give him a child. The words stab her heart. A painful memory surfaces. She once dreamed of having a child with him. When she brought it up, he had coldly postponed it indefinitely. Now he speaks as if it were a command or a favor. His hypocrisy shatters her last illusions. Suppressing nausea, she watches the man who believes he controls everything. He tucks her in and tells her to rest, and promises to handle her resignation the next day. Satisfied, he leaves, convinced he has trapped her, turning her resistance into part of his plan. What he doesn't know is that the resignation he just approved is actually a disguised divorce notice. Though the accident disrupted her escape, it also stripped away her illusions, igniting her resolve for revenge. When he congratulates himself on his victory tomorrow, what awaits him will be an empty house and a storm that will sweep away everything he owns. Beatrice's counterattack has only just begun. Beatrice's assistant was helping her best friend move, celebrating her escape from a life of misery, when a mysterious phone call suddenly came through, demanding that she immediately provide her boss's suit measurements. At this moment, her best friend, like Beatrice herself had once done, had just moved into her own apartment and was reveling in the joy of a fresh start, completely unaware of the impending danger. Beatrice asked her assistant to help unpack the boxes while she returned to the office to retrieve the remaining items. But then the assistant received that strange instruction. Cautious, she carefully asked the caller what the boss's measurements would be used for. To her shock, the man on the other end instantly erupted in anger, scolding her to mind her own business and obey immediately. The unusual reaction set off alarm bells in her mind. Who was this mysterious person? And what secret purpose could he have for requesting her boss's measurements? Look closely before this woman had even officially taken office. Her future subordinates are already trash-talking her behind her back, saying she is not only incompetent but also a complete bitch. What they don't know is that she isn't just the company's new leader, she is also the newly moved-in neighbor of the domineering CEO who lives downstairs. The story begins when the woman, Beatrice, approaches a man to compensate for a suit she accidentally ruined. She needs his measurements so she can buy him an identical replacement. But to her surprise, the man turns out to be an extremely narcissistic, overbearing CEO. He assumed Beatrice is using a clumsy excuse to flirt with him and smugly says he'll have his assistant send her the measurements, never once taking her seriously. Cut to the office. Beatrice's friend is about to resign, and her co-workers are gathering to see her off. Just then, a sharp-tongued colleague starts loudly complaining about the new leader who is about to be parachuted in from above. Her words dripping with disdain and malice. What she doesn't realize is that the unqualified and obnoxious new boss she is insulting is none other than Beatrice, the very neighbor her friend just mentioned moving in next door. Even worse, every vicious word is clearly heard by Beatrice standing outside the door. The next second, the office door swings open. The moment the gossiping employee sees Beatrice, her face turns ghostly pale. On one side are subordinates who have just publicly insulted their new boss. On the other is the domineering CEO neighbor who mistook her for an obsessed admirer. How is this parachuted and female leader supposed to begin her very first day at work? One moment, this woman is a powerless CEO's wife, publicly humiliated by her husband and his mistress. The next, a mysterious phone call from her mother-in-law flips the situation entirely, leaving the cheating husband full of regret. The story begins with Beatrice being cornered in the office by her husband's lover, Madeline, who mocks and insults her without restraint. Relying on her looks, Madeline sneers that Beatrice is nothing but a gold digger, who climbed her way up through improper means, insisting no man from high society would truly want her. But Beatrice isn't weak. She lets out a cold laugh and fires back that Madeline is only picking up her second-hand leftovers. Furious, Madeline grabs an object and throws it at her. Beatrice reacts instantly, blocking the attack and throwing it back. It hits Madeline square on the nose, blood pouring out as she flees in humiliation. The co-workers burst into applause. Fed up, Beatrice decides to resign on the spot. A colleague suggests the perfect revenge applied to the company of her husband's biggest rival, Damian, who has just returned from Europe and is hiring a new assistant. Though stepping down from project director to assistant seems humiliating, Beatrice understands this is her chance to escape her husband's control, build her own connections, and strike back directly. She takes her resignation letter and storms into her husband Desmond's office, only to see Madeline curled up in his arms, crying pitifully and accusing Beatrice of bullying her. Instead of defending his wife, Desmond scolds Beatrice coldly, claiming Madeline's family is an important partner and shouldn't he be offended. Completely disappointed, Beatrice silently slams the resignation letter onto the desk. Just as Desmond thinks it's over, Beatrice's phone rings. He glances at the caller ID and freezes it as his mother. Beatrice turns on speakerphone. Her mother-in-law's calm voice announces she is ready to discuss the next step of their agreement. At that word, Desmond's face changes instantly as he grabs the phone, demanding to know what secret deal his mother made with his wife. The real drama has only just begun.